Hey guys, it's RJ the Fed. I'm here with my dad. We got some beers we're gonna be trying, so some different stouts. I'm gonna go ahead and open them up and see if we can pour up some glasses. So let's see if we can open this one up first. We're gonna have the Eagle Rare Bourbon County Goose Island Eagle Rare. This is the 2023 release, courtesy of the Dawn. See if we can get this tape off. I didn't want to open these up until we were on camera. Now I got to struggle with the tape.
It's your fault.
Ugh. There we go.
And it's very unique.
I guess I should probably grab my keys because it has a bottle opener.
Bottle opener, unless you want me to pop it on something.
No, I'm gonna grab a bottle opener so we don't make a mess.
Oh, no, I could open it. If I had mine in the ring, I could open it.
Okay, we'll pour up glass A.
Man, that looks thick.
Yeah, it's a stout beer for sure. Got Jeff Castle in the house. I know this is an early one, Jeff, but appreciate you coming out. Want to just go ahead and pour up all of them, or do you want to just
Let's do one at a time.
one at a time?
What do you think?
That's fine.
Because then I can finish mine while you open the next bottle.
Oh, okay. Try to get you better in frame. I realize I had you far out. I had to move the camera.
Don't need to be too far in it.
There we go.
Man, it's not a normal beer. So, started out with Dallas Blonde. That's where I'm at. And now I'm going with the Stout. It is a big change of pace.
Hey, Jeff said he just got home from work, man. Good way to start out the getting home from work is watching a live stream, drinking some beers.
Not bad.
It's interesting.
Got a little bit of burn at the end.
So, Eagle Rare is a Buffalo Trace bourbon, and they took this beer and they aged it in the barrels that this was made in.
Okay.
So that's what's special about it, because this is a allocated Buffalo Trace bottle that everybody seems to want.
Kind of what they did with the Winter Rye
Yeah.
that RAR had. And they don't do it during the winter, but they age it
In the bourbon
in the bourbon
barrels,
barrels.
or the rye barrels.
Yep.
It does have a pretty good tone to it. It's got a little bit on the back end that you kind of feel.
There's a little bit of burn in the back end, but it's a smooth taste. There's not much to it, far as a bunch of different flavors.
I do think this is way better than those Goose Islands we tried last time. Not like as far as like flavor profiles, like because those were three different ones. We had the regular, the Banana Foster, and then we had that Black Ops Stout. But just the smoothness of this one, it seems
This
to
is
be a lot
very
smoother.
smooth. Yeah, this is very smooth. There's not much. I mean, it's just straight. The only thing is when you stop drinking, like I told you, the one thing that gets me is that little bit of burn
On the
very
back end,
end.
yeah.
But it's better than I was just telling you about that winter one that I got from RAR, and it actually coated the back of your throat like cough syrup, and that was nasty.
Hopefully you guys can hear us. Jeff, if you can let me know if the microphone's cutting in or out. I know we have issues with that last time. We changed some settings up last time, so hopefully we're rocking. I'm going to see if we're rocking the same settings still. Yeah, we turned the echo cancellation off, and we bumped this up to 120, so hopefully it's picking it up. And we got it open mic, so it's all around. It's not directional like it was before. By these high-end microphones, and they have issues with audio. You think the high-end stuff would be the best.
Guns and bourbon.
Guns and bourbon in the house. Cheers, just stopping in before I leave work. Hey, everybody seems to be getting off work and they got their commute home right about this time, but this is what time worked best for me and my dad, so if you guys can't watch, that's fine. Just tune in on the live stream for the after the replay.
It's not a bad beer.
No, it's pretty good. I like that. Comes with this fancy tube.
It could probably be colder.
Imperial Stout aged in 2 years in the bourbon barrel, so it was aged in 2 years in the Eagle Rare barrels. It's got like a whole story on it too.
Wonder what it would taste like if it was even colder.
Yeah, I thought about it and I was like, oh crap, you're coming over. I need to stick these in the fridge so they weren't as cold as I would like them to be. They're cold enough that they're not room temp or warm, but they're not cold enough to be like a desirable beer temp.
Of course, I don't know if you told them the way I drink my beer, so that's definitely.
I mean, you can do that. I can get you some ice if you want to pour
No,
you some
no.
ice. Oh, I don't want to mess with this box. These are expensive.
Well, if you like it, we'll get another one. We'll find another one.
This is from 2020. You won't be able to find another one
you
of
don't
these.
think so, huh?
No. Oh, it's super hard to open. There we go. The box popped. There we go. So this is it's still Goose Island, but this one was aged in Weller 12 barrels. So, and it was from 2020. Got the keys over there to pop the bottle.
You gonna show them on the screen?
Yeah. So got the green label, the Weller 12, and it comes in this little fancy box that I was just struggling with. Pretty cool. So Weller 12 and MSRP is like a $40 bourbon, but people go nuts over it. And they pay as high as I've seen $200 for a bottle of it. And this beer was aged in those barrels, just like the Eagle Rare one was. Pour this up in our glass B. I actually bought that flight board for you today.
Did you?
I didn't have that, so.
Is that the flight board we got for you?
This is the flight board that you guys got for me, yes. And I went and got one for you. That one's a little bit bigger on the basis. I think I would want to drill those out to where those glasses actually sit inside of it when you pick it up. But it's not bad just to have sitting on a table.
Well, you should have said something. I think I had another one of those for you.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like $8 at Specs. I also got the new release. I don't know if you guys have been following what's been going on in the world, but Crown Blackberry just dropped. So we got a bottle of Crown Blackberry. It's got a recipe on the back. I thought this recipe on the back was something from Mike Brock. I didn't realize it was just on the back of the box, but it's going to be a glass where you put fresh blackberries in it. You're going to muddle those blackberries down, pour some Crown on it, and then mix it with some fresh lemonade. It'll be like a summertime drink. So, very cheap, too. It was like $24, $25, so.
Not bad.
Weller 12 aged Goose Island bourbon beer. Bourbon stout beer.
There's Old Pirate Bourbon.
Hey, cheers, Old Pirate Bourbon. Not sure what your schedule is, but I feel like you either pop in super early or super late in the live, so I'm glad to see that you're able to pop in at 4 o'clock Central Time here. Good to see you, man.
This one has...
It's a little unique.
And it's heavier.
Yeah.
Heavier.
It almost has a fruit note to it.
See, that's the problem. I mean, I hate...
There's vanilla for sure, but it's almost like a fruit note too.
I hate to say this, since that pandemic that went through, I don't taste the same way I used to taste. So things don't taste the way they used to. But
It's good.
it is. And there's no burn at the end.
No, there's no burn on the back end.
But it's heavy when you drink it. It's heavier than the other one.
The viscosity and how it coats the mouth, it does fill the palate a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Almost creamy.
That's
Like a heavy whipping cream.
exactly. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Very.
That's good though.
It is.
Won't ever be able to get another one of these either.
You know, just say you've been there, did that, have the T-shirt.
Yeah, this one was also from the Don, guys. Dave Vogelsang sent these over. So we got the Eagle Rare one and the Weller 12 one. So the Weller 12 was the 2020 release. The Eagle Rare was the 2023 release. So very, very cool. That's pretty good. Way different flavor profile though than the first one. Like it's different texture, different taste, and everything.
So, the first one was what barrel age?
It was 2 years in an Eagle Rare barrel.
2 years, and then this one was.
I want to say this one's also 2 years. Yeah, 2 years in a Weller 12 barrel. But then we also have the part where we're not too sure on how beer handles being in a box stored at temp room temp because this was from 2020. The other one's from 2023. So I don't think the freshness would really change since it's a sealed bottle. And because they're barrel aged, they're heavier, they're stouts. I don't think they have to be refrigerated. There's nothing on here that said they needed to be refrigerated.
Well, most of the time they're shipped. They're warm, and they stay warm
Until you refrigerate
until
them.
you refrigerate them.
Then once you refrigerate them, you don't want to not refrigerate them, right?
That I don't know. I mean, you got both sides of the fence on beer. I mean, you can refrigerate. You got your stuff down this side.
Yeah, well, the plastic still stayed on the top, even though I just took the ring around, so I'm hoping this will go through the plastic if I can grab it. Well, definitely not going to be able to reseal this one when I'm done with it. All right, so this is a fancy one, guys. This is Black Tuesday from the brewery. I'm gonna say this is my consolation prize. So we don't want to say how much we spent at Total Wine last year, but it was in the thousands, and we had 140,000 reward points with Total Wine. And once you get 25,000, you're a Grand Reserve member. Every point after 25,000 is one entry into their drawings. The only thing we were called for was a $60 beer. We didn't win anything else. We didn't get no petty consolation prize where it was like, hey, come collect your Blantons or let's call you for a drawing. It was literally just this beer for $60. So it kind of fits the theme on what we've been doing for these stout beers. So I'm going to pour up some for sure. My dad's going to be drinking, hopefully, this whole bottle because I don't think I can drink this whole bottle. I'm not a huge beer fan, but going to be trying this one. I don't think this one's going to be as cold as the others because it's a bigger bottle too. $60 for a beer though.
Well, I'm getting ready to go to Hawaii, and the average beer there is $15 to $18, and that's just regular beer. So
got Barrel Dave in the house. What's going on? And Senior. Barrel Dave's over in Georgia.
Yeah, I was gonna bring the sock to let everybody know who I was, but I decided not to.
So the hashtag rigged for the Total Wine lottery.
Okay, go ahead and tell them what you're feeling about Total Wine.
So Total Wine, guys, end of March, they're doing their Pappy Van Winkle drawing. If I don't get selected for a BTAC bottle or a Pappy bottle, they might not get another $1 from me. I'll still go wait in the mornings for the allocated drops because those are like the only guaranteed way that I can get an allocated bottle, but that will be literally the only business they will get from me is me buying allocated bottles. I won't buy everyday shelfers. I won't help you guys find bottles from Total Wine. I'll bring my business to specs, or I'll be supporting more local mom and pop businesses. So I've got two local stores that they do charge a little bit more, about $5 to $15 more, but I would rather support the smaller franchises or small businesses than the big box stores that just they reap in so much money. It's not even fair for the little guy to even have a chance. Very different nose on this. Smells way different. I don't know if you can smell it, but it smells way different. It almost smells bitter. I hope it doesn't taste bitter.
It does not taste bitter. It's kind of like in between. We probably should have did this one second.
It almost has a cherry flavor to it, or like a grape flavor. It's 19.5% alcohol by volume. The last one we had, which was the Weller 12 one, that one was 15.2%.
This one has that. Is not as bad as the ones that they put out with RAR, but it almost has got that coating the back of your throat when you're done.
Try this one more time. It has a very heavy grape note.
You think it's great?
I think that's great. It's not like a cough syrup grape. It's like
no, it's got a good.
It's not the green grapes,
flavor.
but the other grapes.
If I was to rank these, as far as thickness and the palate, taste, I'd probably put this in the middle.
Which one do you think excelled? The last one we just had?
The last one we just had.
Because it was the smoothest on every ends.
Yeah,
So Weller 12, Goose Island Weller 12. That one's going to be your number one. Number two so far, obviously, we just started trying. This one's Black Tuesday. Number three is going to be the Eagle Rare one.
Correct. And Eagle Rare wasn't bad, but that's more like when we were doing the Black Ops. And
it's got more of a finish on it. It's not as well rounded, I would say.
it's the aftertaste that got me on that one.
We definitely have more to pour up too, so we can retry it if we don't like it. We got
we
a lot to drink because we can't recap these.
I'm getting on a plane in the morning, so I don't care.
Yeah, everybody's at work or on their commute home, so we got what, four watching, and we're one of the people watching, so we got 3 people watching. We got Old Pirate Bourbon, Guns and Bourbon, Jeff Castle, and Barrel Dave. So I'm assuming that Jeff Castle, since he's home, he's probably still watching, but Guns and Bourbon had to drive home, so he dropped out of chat.
Yeah, he probably dropped out.
It's not bad, but it has a heavy grape note. I feel like I'm almost drinking grape juice, but as a stout beer.
You know, you say it's heavy grape, but
that's almost all I get from the tasting note.
It's heavy, but I wouldn't say it's great.
I have the stout coffee note, but it seems a lot more muted than the Eagle Rare or Weller one.
Yeah,
it's a lot more complex. It's got a lot more flavor going on in the others for sure.
A lot more complex.
It's just trying to figure out all the notes. I think grape is just the heavy note that I'm getting. You don't get grape though, or you can't say that it's grape because you think there's more going on.
I think there's more going on.
Maybe like a plum or like a dried fruit or fig.
I'd just be speaking out of turn, but there's something more going on here.
You don't have to know what everything is. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about half the time.
You know, I watch you guys, and I think it's kind of funny to watch you guys in here, and I appreciate everybody that signs into Roger's live streams and his chats, but you guys are pretty well knowing, and I kind of get a kick out of watching you because it's almost like, man, I've learned something each time I turn it on, which is...
I'm going to pour up some more of this Weller 12 one.
Yeah, the Weller 12. See what the Weller 12, huh?
I should make you try that whiskey, but I don't have any more of it left. I just finished that off the other day.
What's a Weller 12?
Yeah. I've got it blended up in something else with Weller 107, but the actual Weller 12 whiskeys.
Is that the one you made your own
blend? And I called it a Poor Man's Pappy.
Yes, I seen that. I was like, that should be literally illegal. That you should be able to pull that off.
So this is the blend. It's an old Blanton's bottle where we took the label off. We slapped our Poor Man's Pappy logo on there. This is 60% Weller 107 and 40% Weller 12 blended. This is supposed to drink equivalent to Pappy Van Winkle 15 year. But the 15 year, if you find it at MSRP, buy it. But if you don't, like all of us, you're going to pay museum pricing and secondary pricing. It's a $1,500 bottle to get Pappy 15. I'm thankful enough to have a subscriber actually sending me a sample of the Pappy Van Winkle 15 year. So that's probably like a $200 sample right there. He's also sending me a sample of Old Rip 10, which is probably like a $700 bottle on secondary. I actually sent him a sample of the Poor Man's Pappy, and then he's a huge fan of Wild Turkey, so he has the single Rickhouse Kent Nelson F, the bottle that I held up in front of the Texas flag and traded away that bottle. And I sent him, I have 2 private barrel selects from Russell's, the Kent Nelson E and Kent Nelson F, the $70 bottles. I sent him 2 samples, so he'll have those to compare along with the other samples. So no thanks unless I win the lotto. Yeah, no. Pappy Van Winkle 15 year at $1,500. Yeah, no thanks. It's a lot of money.
Well, if you get the right Powerball, it really don't matter.
But I have a subscriber send me samples of those, which I think is freaking crazy.
This was our first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first one. That was the Eagle Rare one. And then this is the one that you said that was your number 1, the Weller 12 one.
Yeah, let me have that one. So let me switch it up.
I'm just going to pour up some of the Eagle Rare in the other one because I can have multiple glasses sitting on the table. I'm not too worried about my TV tray getting knocked over. Everybody talks about how rickety my table's looking, how they think I'm going to drop or break stuff. And it's like, hey, it could happen.
We need to get you a bigger room.
I do need a bigger room. Set my keyboard down. We're not typing right now. We're just talking to the chat. I'm going to try these side by side.
So how many bourbon people are beer bourbon people? I mean, is this something that you go out and look for? I know you're doing it because, I like beer and I don't like bourbon.
I would say maybe 10 to 15%.
So not
very few. But it's funny because, like, I go wait at line at Total Wine before they open, like 2 hours before they open. If there's an allocated beer drop, there'll be like double or triple the amount of people there because they're there for the beer. But when you ask people, hey, what are you here for? What are you waiting in line? What are you hoping to get? They're going to tell you there's this new seasonal release of Samuel Adams. I think that was the last one that was a big drop where there was like 30 extra people there compared to what we would normally have, and they were there for the beer.
Wow.
So the beer has a big cult following too. I made a friend with one of the guys he was number one in line, and I was number two. So that was kind of cool being able to talk to him and see what he thought about beers. And he was actually the one that recommended the Black Ops.
Okay.
He said the Black Ops you can find year round.
And the Black Ops
He
was
said
good.
these other ones they're allocated, so they're gonna go quick. But the regular releases they produce so much of it that you can still get it. Like I can still go get Goose Island today. They have the Backyard Stout, they have the Banana Foster, which is what we tried, and then they had the regular one. They still have the regular one too. All those are available. So the Backyard Stout we didn't try. Didn't really seem too interested in it for flavor. It's another $25 bottle of beer though, so it's like you're paying a lot for a beer.
You are, but when you look at the
quality, the age, having to have a place in the rick house to store these to age them, like the value and the money is there. I hate how like tequila does it. For example, they have those Corzin tequilas where they age them in like the Eagle Rare or the Weller barrels or the Blanton's barrels. The tequila sucks. They literally age them in the barrels of these allocated whiskeys as a marketing scheme to get people to buy them. I didn't know that, so I was hunting those forever until I talked to some subscribers that are tequila drinkers and said, it's crap, don't buy it. It's literally just marketing. So when I was thinking about that, I was like, man, is that the case for the beers? But the beers, I think the beers, the way they age, because it's only for 2 years and it's a slower process at a lower alcohol percentage, it really does take a lot of the flavor from the barrel. So like trying the Eagle Rare one versus the Weller 12, that Weller 12 one's way smoother, way sweeter.
So it's crazy that you're saying all that because yesterday when I was on the treadmill, of course, you'd be on the treadmill a lot. I was watching the Moonshiners.
Yeah.
And they went to Boston and made their own rum, the Moonshiner rum. And they showed how the yeast does and stuff. And I think the difference between tequila and beer is because the yeast is still growing and things are still growing, so it'll still pull the stuff from the barrels. Tequila is pretty much done once you cut the pot.
From my understanding, they don't even put tequila in a barrel; it's just pot still.
It is, but what I'm saying is by moving it over, it's not going to grow anymore. It's not going to pull anything more. I mean, and it was unique, the Moonshiners, because they put it into a gun shaker.
Yeah.
And he did it 24 hours, so it felt like he was in the sea for 24 hours and did some extra stuff there.
So I do have some tequilas, guys. I know I'm not a tequila person or tequila reviewer, but we got these Fortaleza, which is one that everybody seems to want. It's an allocated tequila. It's supposed to be a $60 bottle. It goes for about $100 on secondary. We were able to get this one shipped to us from California for $92, so a little bit more than I'd like to pay. But we have people come over that they do drink tequila, so I made sure to get them. We're only going with the Blancos, though. We're not getting the Reposado or the Anejos because they're barrel aged, and the girls, they don't seem to drink those. They like drinking the lighter ones. The other one is this Mi Gente. It comes in a cardboard box with like a little bunny on it. This was another one recommended by one of you guys in the Discord, so we picked that one up. We did not find the Yayo, but this Saturday I'm actually off of work. I'm going to go to the allocated drop. We're going to try to do a live stream from the phone. I don't know if that's going to work so we can show off the allocated drop. I got a buddy coming out to do that with me. But afterwards, the girls are going to come over. We're going to drink some tequila. I don't know if we'll do a live stream, but we might do a video of some fresh cracks of the Fortaleza and the Mi Gente. Because I was told this Fortaleza is also one, even though it's allocated, it's not worth picking up. And that it's going to have a weird flavor profile that I'm just not going to like. So I'm already like set up for failure on that one because I was so excited. I hunted this for so long. I couldn't find it in store, and I finally found someone that had one, and I got one, and now it's like it might not even be good.
I wish you'd have told me because we just got back from Cozumel, and they have two of the biggest tequila farms on the island, and they sample.
Agave. This is the agave head of the plant.
Yes.
That's the topper. Isn't that cool?
Yes, but I mean, there's so much tequila in Cozumel.
But I don't know which ones to get. So the guy was telling me, he's like, make sure if you're going to get a tequila, he's going to send me a list. He said, get one of these because they don't have any additives. Because he said most of the tequilas have additives. So I'm not sure if the Mexican ones are also have any additives or if they're 100% agave as well. He said, make sure it's 100% agave, though, for sure. It's pretty good for the Eagle Rare one, but it does have a weird back end on it.
That's the only problem I have with it.
It's not smooth. It feels like I'm going to have the beer burps from drinking it.
I'll continue to drink beer if you want to go to your bourbon, and then you can talk about bourbon on here.
I don't know. I might want more of this Weller 12 one.
I will.
This Weller 12 is pretty good.
You talking about that big one over there, or that one? I think I'm gonna go with that one next.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still have more of this.
Yeah, your mom should have come, so I don't have to drive all the way home.
I was trying to get her to. I was like, man, this would be perfect. You could drink as much as you want, and then she's gonna be your designated driver. So when you said she wasn't coming, I was like, well, now you got to slow yourself down. We're gonna have to saran wrap these to get you home, and then you can open them back up when you get home and drink them.
Sounds like a plan.
These are good though. It's just.
Well, she can always pick me up here in the morning when we go to the airport.
I guess yeah, you really have to, yeah. I like that though. The Weller 12 one's a lot more smoother. This one's just the Eagle Rare one's just not quite there for me. The finish on the back end, you can really feel it and taste it. I think you're right on that. The finish is very, very oaky and kind of has that not ethanol burn, because I wouldn't say these are high enough proof to have an ethanol burn, but it does have a bite.
Well, but I think the people that would like that is the exact opposite of what I do is anybody that likes IPAs. I think that would be perfect for somebody who loves IPAs.
I could see that because the bite's it's not like an oaky bite either. It's got that twang or that tang,
right?
However you want to pronounce it.
And that's what IPAs bring to the table. When you look at an IPA,
the sours, the
they
bitters,
still have that back end. When you're done, you still taste it just for a second or two longer. And I think if you like IPAs, those people would probably love that one more.
Well, we got 6 people watching now. Some more people in the house. Feel free to drop a comment in chat, and I'll highlight your comment on screen, guys. A couple more people tuning in.
Probably more wanting to watch the train wreck.
Oh, it's going to be a train wreck if I keep drinking beer and then switch immediately to whiskey. And I think that's what I'm going to be doing next.
I knew you were going to go to whiskey. Something just told me. But I have no problem finishing these off myself.
I've got some pretty good whiskeys. I tried one of the coolest samples I've gotten from a subscriber, and I actually have a tracking number for a bottle that's on its way over here.
Oh my goodness!
It's a $300 bottle though.
What is it?
It's Boondocks 18 year. It's the best way to describe the taste is, do you remember Cocoa Pebbles, the chocolate cereal?
Yep.
And Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Not so much, but Cocoa Pebbles I actually do.
Imagine those two, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch
Having
and
a kid?
Cocoa Pebbles having a baby. That's this bottle.
I knew you were going there.
It's so sweet. It's so delicious. It's a dessert pour, but it comes in this big fancy box. Where's my phone?
See, I love dessert pours.
My phone's right here. I got a picture of it. It's a special bottle for sure.
Oh. Nice.
So it comes in a crazy box, and this is a batch 1, bottle number 75. It's 105.4 proof. That's their cash strength version of it, and it is delicious.
And how long have they been out?
Oh, for a long time, but they're all on the East Coast from what I've seen. Hey, Mr. Lopez is in the house.
Guess who goes to the East Coast?
Yeah, North Carolina. I think Georgia's where he picked it up, but he said he doesn't see it very often. It was.
What about North Carolina or Virginia?
I would have to ask. I'm not sure exactly where the guy was that picked it up for me. He said he got it for $275 out the door. I see a few in Texas based off of the locator, but I haven't actually gone to the stores to see if they have them. But they have it priced at $339 locally versus $275 on the coast. So even with shipping, I'm still saving about $40.
Yeah, but if I'm already there and I'm going there next week, you may want to give me a list.
Boondocks 18 having a backup bottle would be pretty crazy. Mr. Lopez is in the house.
Mr. Lopez, thank you, sir. Papa RJ. I'm Sock Puppet's dad.
Sock Puppet's dad. Mr.
Hopefully you're on the live feed for that one. That was like a train wreck completely.
It was pretty good. I liked it. Mr. Lopez, your package is on the way, sir. You got your samples coming to you. Let's see. I'll have to rinse these glasses and try this and embarrass myself on camera. I might wait.
You got an extra glass here. We still got D.
Well, I had samples sent to me. They're blind, so I don't know what they are.
Well, you got me on camera. Leave me on camera. Get some clean.
All right. I'll do it. We're gonna do a blind, guys.
And
we got a larceny blind.
Bring me a glass of ice.
Just a glass of ice for your beers?
Yeah, for my beers. They're not gonna see how I normally drink my beer. So I don't know how you guys normally drink your beer, but every time I drink beer, and I have a buddy of mine, it made a lot of sense to me. We were overseas, and everywhere we went, he wanted ice for his beer. And I'm like, that seems weird. Then I started having ice with my beer. Well, I learned it does two things for you. Number one, it keeps your beer cold no matter how long it takes you to drink it, which with me, it normally doesn't take that long. And then secondly, the best part is it gives me water while I'm drinking my beer, so I don't have to stop and have water in between all the beers I drink. So, kind of where I'm at. I think we're going to do the Black Tuesday. So, just so you see, full glass of ice, Black Tuesday, gonna run it.
Oh, I'm gonna embarrass myself with these.
Well, Roger just took us off. We have Mandalorian now.
I hope I didn't close the stream. Nope, stream looks like it's still running. Perfect.
Mr. Lopez says he can't wait for his.
Oh yeah, Mr. Lopez is super excited anytime he wins something because he seems to be one of the most unluckiest people on my stream.
Mr. Lopez, I'm going to do you a major favor. I have 2 winners over here right now. Both winners, I'm going to make him send them to you, and I'll pay for it myself. I'm sending you both the winners I have, so he's going to send you all my samples because I am not a big bourbon guy. Especially when you said ice cold beer is the only way to have beer. I put my ice in my beer on summer days or when I make... Oh, there we go. Yes, absolutely.
So, since he's giving you the winners, it's we got 6 minis from my advent calendar that have been opened and I've had a small pour of. And the other time he won was a sample set of 4 samples. So we'll get that package together. And we had that conversation where you said you really wanted that Natterjack Cash Strength as one of your samples. We'll make sure that's in there too.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, Mr. Lopez.
And then we got Bob Santos joining the chat. All the way up from upstate New York.
Oh, upstate New York. I've always wanted to go there.
All right, we got...
Been to New York City. Never been to upstate New York.
We got 4 samples sent to us. And we got a cheat sheet. We're going to have a Larceny Blinds from 2023. So we got A123, B523, C923, and then we got a Birnheim A223.
Long Island. Oh, I've been to Long Island. Absolutely, sir. I've gone over on the ferry.
So everyone seems to do the blinds with the Elijah Craigs, but not the Larcenies.
What would be the difference?
So the Larceny is made by Old Fitzgerald, and the Elijah Craigs are made from Elijah Craig. And the Larcenies, they're also barrel proof, so they're around the same proof point, but they seem to be a lot more sweeter and more cherry forward. And then the Birnheim is also made by them too, so it's just a lesser known one. I think the Elijah Craigs is more popular.
Mr. Santos is still at work. We appreciate you coming in.
I see where RJ gets his generosity from. You two are great.
Yes, if he's not a giver, I'm gonna whoop his butt, just so you know. That's the one thing I wanted to instill in my kids is be a giver. I mean, we're here to serve, so I want to make sure he serves.
See you later, Bob. Good to see you, man.
Don't forget to smash that like button.
So Bob is actually the guy that's going to be sending the samples of the Pappy Van Winkle 15-year in the old Rip 10.
Wow, very nice.
His budget's a little bit more than mine.
Well, depends on how long you've been doing this too. So some people have you've
He
only
just
been doing
started
it-
in November.
Oh, did you
So
really?
he has some serious coin.
or he has some serious connection. And when you're
No,
in
he
New York,
pays a lot. He told me how much he paid.
Okay.
he had to pay more than he should have, but that's the problem in New York is that you're going to pay for what you get.
Yeah. Well, but if you want it, you want to try it, you want to do it. And let's be honest, we're not going to live forever. You might as well enjoy some part of your life.
Exactly. I mean, I think you might be over enjoying once you see what he has. But we're sending some cool stuff too, just not quite the same level as him.
I feel like I'm sinking in this chair.
It smells like a larceny. 3 of these are larceny. 1 of these is a Bernheim.
And what would be the difference with Bernheim?
I don't know. I've never had it before, so, but they're all made from the same distillery, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Oh. Shadow 515. 51.
51-15. What's up, Shadow? He's in the Discord. The one on the far right, glass number 4, we're going to say D because we don't want to rank 1 as 2 and 3 as 4. We're going to rank them A, B, C, D, and that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So D doesn't smell quite like the others. It smells a little bit more muted, a little bit more sweet. So if I didn't know any better, I would just automatically off the nose alone guess that that's the outlier from the Larceny Bernheim blind. So this blind has 3 Larcenies and 1 Bernheim in it, and all 3 Larcenies are the barrel proofs from 2023. We have had we had the C923 Larceny. We tried it, did a review on it, and then we gave that open bottle along with a sealed bottle away as a gift to Brandon Erickson, one of my buddies that lives in the same town as my dad right now. They raised their prices on their Larceny barrel proofs too. I bought Brandon's both at $54 a piece. They're $70 a piece now.
Supply and demand. Plus, inflation's gone through the roof. You can charge what you want to now because everything's going up in value, unfortunately.
Not to mention, guys, these Larceny barrel proofs are all like 123 to 127 proof. They're high proof.
That's awesome.
A lot of oak, a lot of cherry.
Tell them about when I was on the cruise, they have a bourbon bar, and I sent you all the stuff, and you said 90% of them were not even worth it.
They had some cool stuff on the ship, but they probably wanted way too much money for them.
We got 3 more ships this year, so we'll see what happens.
They had OFC on the ship, guys. That's like one of the craziest bottles, but that was on the top tier list. How much were those? Like $150 a pour?
I think the top one was, and I still got it on my phone, I think it was like $175. And of course, we were waived because we bought the alcohol package, so we were waived the first $25, so it would be equivalent of $200 pour.
So I want to say OFC was on there, which was pretty crazy. Tried the small batch and B523. So the small batch is a good mixer at best, but my buddy Brandon really liked it. But he also really liked Stag. So when I found the barrel proofs of these, I just felt like that was right up his alley.
So Shadow's not a fan of Larceny.
I don't think many people are. I think that's why the Elijah Craig barrel proofs are more popular. But I'm the opposite. I've only found one Elijah Craig barrel proof that I liked, and that's this year's release so far, the A124, because it's off profile.
Elijah Craig is doing a lot of advertisement. And
well, there's an Elijah Craig right there in the center right there. That's the 18-year, but it's a lower proof one. But that's like a $200 bottle.
What I'm saying is sometimes the more advertisement you do, sometimes the quality doesn't always hold up. They're paying for...
I mean, Old Fitz has some pretty crazy stuff. They have the Decanter series. Those are like super crazy, well-known, expensive bottles. This is like a lower entry-level bottle from their distillery. B's got a lot of oak on it. Ooh, it's a lot heavier. Excuse me.
Welcome to the game. I am hitting a cruise in 1.5 weeks. We'll have a full... I'm sorry, I can't read the whole thing because Roger's got it.
I'm hitting a cruise in 1.5 weeks with a full beverage package and no limit.
So you did the extended version. Who you going with? Norwegian, Holland America?
Yeah, that second one was really oaky.
Royal Caribbean. I've never been on a Royal. I've been on Holland American. I've been Norwegian. I've been on Royal Caribbean before, but Norwegian seems to carry, and so do Holland America, seems to carry the much higher end bourbons and wines. Because my wife's a big wine drinker.
It's bitter.
Never been on the Royal Caribbean, so I'd be curious to hear what your take is on what their full beverage package will cover. Norwegian, and that's what kind of what we were talking about, and I sent it to my son, and he can send it out. They had just a bourbon bar, and that's the only thing it focused on, from very low end to very high end, and that's all it did. But even if you had the full package, half of it still wasn't covered. I mean, that's how high end that the bourbons they had on there. So I'd be surprised um, what Royal Caribbean had for you. Hopefully, you're going to get everything you paid for. Uh, but we know as well as anybody else that these cruise ships are in there to make money for themselves and not take care of us. So I'm sure hoping you get some good stuff though.
So 4 is very off profile.
So you think four is not? You think four is larceny?
I think it's Birnheim.
Birnheim. I'm sorry.
The other three are larceny. But I don't think I like it as best as the first one. I think we're just gonna move these down.
So you're saying that's the second best?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through them again because it's hard going from beer to these. Everything's sitting in the back of the throat now. I feel all of it. It's like itchy, scratchy.
Oh, suck it up, Buttercup. I could have gave up before we had you, and we didn't.
All right, let's try number 1 again.
Hopefully, we're bringing you some entertainment here. Not a big fan, huh?
It's sweet up front, but then it's oaky on the back end, like heavy oak. It hurts.
But you're leaving that as your
It's,
fourth favorite?
it's gonna be moving down.
Moving down? Okay. Shadow, where are you heading on your cruise? I have 3 coming up this year. Not to be say anything, but we're going to Alaska in July. We're going to Europe in August, and we're going to the one that's on my bucket list. Been on my bucket list forever. But we're going to Iceland in September. So hopefully, it's not a bad time to be going to Iceland in September. So Southern Caribbean, Central America. That sounds fun. How many days? 7? 9? 14 maybe? 12. Very nice. Very nice. Leaving out of where? You going out of Miami? Leaving out of Miami. Very nice. Not a bad place to leave out of. So apparently my son does not like mixing beer and bourbon, just so you guys know. Even though the beer is supposed to be bourbon laced, he's not doing too well with that one. Good for you. How many
jalapenos from lunch?
Yeah. How many sea days you have, Shadow? That's the one thing I hate about a lot of these cruises. I try to pick the cruises where I only have one sea day, and I hope, if that one sea day is going to be in there, it's in the middle just to give you a break so you're not going from place to place. But the last several cruises we've been on, we get up in the morning, we're out of port, we go to bed, we're traveling. Next morning we wake up, we're at another port. How about you guys? You think jalapenos are messing you up?
Yeah. No, I had acid reflux earlier from the jalapenos. I don't know why I ate. I had a whole container of made the whole container.
I don't think that bottle's going to make it home.
It's all right. As long as you like it. I don't know.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That moved all the way down, huh?
This is number 1. This is number 4 for me.
Okay. So, wasn't this one the one you thought was not?
I think this is the Bernheim.
Well, when are you going to find out?
I'm going to lock it in right now, guys.
What do you think your 1 through 4 is?
So,
think what you think.
So A, number 1 is going to be number 2, which is B. I'm going to say Class B. The second spot will be number 1, which is Class A. D or number 4 will be number 3. C or number 3 will be 4th. So when you label a wine, guys, I recommend using letters and not numbers. So use A, B, C, D because I'm going to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you just associate A with 1, B with 2, I have 2 as number 1, 1 is number 2, or sorry, I should say B is number 1, A is number 2, D is number 3, and C as number 4. Sorry if that was confusing, guys. So, number 1 for me was Larceny A123. Number 2 for me was Larceny C923, which is the one that I did have beforehand. Number 3 for me is B523, and then last place was the Bernheim A223. So now I got to try the Bernheim one more time because I've never had Bernheim before until now.
But you moved it to the 4 already before you even had it, so.
No, I've had it before. I'm like in this lineup. I just had it before this. It's kind of oaky. They're all high proof. 126.4, 125.8, 118.8, and 124.4.
So the 118 was third place finisher. So.
No, that was last.
No, third. 118 you said.
118.8 is.
Oh, is that Bernheim?
Mm-hmm. That's the Bernheim. That's the lowest proof one. Which it's really heavy on oak.
So is it not distilled as long? Maybe that's why I picked up more oak, or what do you think?
I don't know because people say the Bernheims are good, but I don't think so.
Sometimes when you pick up more oak, you've either left it in too long or the barrels are green. If the barrels are green, you're gonna pick up more oak.
Yeah.
It depends on how when you get the barrels and how long you keep the barrels.
We still have enough for another pour of these later, so we're gonna set these back up there with the sheet. Maybe we'll pour this up for someone else.
And I did not believe he did multiple pours of his samples, but I'm here watching. It's true. I would have thought, based on the little samples he gets, they would be gone in no time. But nope, he put them back up.
I have so many freaking samples. I have these. These are all brand new samples, never been opened or tasted.
You know what? That box looked really cool when you put that out the other night.
And then these are all samples that I've opened and tasted a little bit of it. This is that bottle, that crazy bottle I have coming to me. This is the sample at Boondocks 18. That was from Matt from Whiskey Wisdom. We got Joel sending us a bottle of this though, so we funded the man today, so it's on the way.
You know, I think the cool thing about your group is everybody's helping out everybody else. And normally, when you're in a group like this, there's always somebody that wants to be better than everybody else, or somebody has something somebody else doesn't have, and I don't see that with you guys. So
The issue that I do see with our group is that some of you guys want to make a profit or make some money. And there's a time and place for that. But when I ask you guys for help on locating a bottle for someone else, not myself, I'll pay whatever you guys are asking because I understand finder fees, the time it takes to go get the bottle, the price, the shipping. I understand all that. But if you're trying to help someone out, or I ask you guys to try to help someone out, they don't mind paying more as well, but there's got to be some kind of limitation. So, like, we had someone looking for a new release. It comes out next month. MSRP on that bottle is $300, but it'll probably be north of $1,000 once it hits secondary market. The guy's willing to pay $500 to $800 in value, and he's also willing to offer some trades in return. But $800 is kind of his threshold because it's like his Pappy, his BTAC bottle, where it's like that's one of his favorites, and he's willing to pay for it above MSRP, but he's not willing to pay that full secondary price. So obviously, you could buy that bottle and sell it for $1,000, but that's not what it's about. It's about trying to help somebody get something that they really are looking for and what they really want. I try to do the same for you guys. If I can find something that you're looking for and you reach out to me, I will try to do my best to get it to you at cost, no profit necessary, because it's not about the money. It's about getting you guys something really cool and hope that maybe you return the favor, maybe not to me, but to at least somebody else, because some of these bottles are hard to find.
So, Mr. Lopez, you came up earlier, and hopefully you see that with Roger, and hopefully we can get that. It almost needs to be everybody in America needs to do this. Everywhere in the world needs to do this. We need to give back to people for the blessings that we have. I mean, each one of us are blessed in our own different ways, but by helping other people out, and Shadow, it's good to see that you only charge bottle plus shipping and a little packaging. You know, you could probably even throw another $20 on there and call it a day. But, you know, some people want, because they know they can get more out there.
They want the full value.
They want full value, and it's not that you don't deserve full value, and it's not that you can't get it periodically, but when you have a group that you're with, you need to treat that group like family, and if you're going to sell it outside there, then get your full value. That would be my philosophy, but I'm just jumping in here. I'm coming over to drink some beer with my kid, and other than that, you know, it's just checking in with you guys, letting you know where I come from and what I've taught him as he's been growing up. And all of you guys have been taught different things. The biggest thing is when you're a community, be a community. Now, if you sell outside the community, bury their butts in it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair game. Profit all you want.
But when you're talking about your community and your immediate family, I mean, of course, some of us, we have some weird ducks in our family. We all got them. Don't get me wrong. We all have them, but still family. So you got to take care of them.
So Matt from Whiskey Wisdom was the one who sent me the sample of that Boondocks 18, which told me I wanted to get that bottle. His saying that he would always say that's kind of along the same lines of giving is it's about collaboration rather than competition. I don't need to compete so I can show off or be better than the next guy. I should collaborate with him so we can have more content and more value to the community as a whole rather than trying to beat the next guy. I'm not trying to be the next Bruzel. I'm not trying to have 200,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, and go viral and make millions of dollars. I'm just trying to give you guys some entertainment. Do you grab your phone?
Yes, my phone went off.
Want me to go check it?
Yeah. So unfortunately, guys, I'm on the clock still. I work 24/7 as my job, and my phone just went off, and I thought I'd be.
1-800 number, so you're looking for a 1-800.
Yep, 1-800 number. I ain't gonna call unless it's my home office. That's the only thing I have to worry about. So let me check real quick.
I think it's gone off twice, so you might want to double check it because I thought I heard a noise earlier.
I don't think. Nope. So we're probably gonna be fine. So here's the biggest problem right now going on. You all probably feel the same pain. I'm getting so many calls or so many emails about voting. And I believe you need to go vote. And in Texas, I don't know if you're around here, but right now in Texas, there's 12 propositions. And I believe you need to go ahead and vote on those because some of those are going to be very meaningful in the future. Yeah, Cure Scout, I don't know what that is. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of these guys they're all over the country, so it's kind of crazy. I got people that tune in all the way from Northern California to Southern Florida, all the way to the West Coast of California.
So I was prior military, guys, just so you kind of know where I come from. Don't do that anymore, but prior military, and the one thing that I believe in is this country, this greatest country in the world. Love this country, but the only way you can change this country is vote. So if you see something that you don't like, get out and vote. If you see something you like, get out and vote. The bottom line is we got to vote. Mr. Lopez is in Los Angeles, LA. Mr. Lopez, I'll be coming through there, coming back from Hawaii on Tuesday.
I think the old man Mark Gandy. I think he's also from California as well. He's the guy who won the Old Forester 1924 bottle, and then we got Bad Axe Bourbon. Bobby from Bad Axe Bourbon. He's also from California too. So we got quite a few people out on that California coast. Shadow said he's Northeast too, so it sounds like he's also a New York person. I remember we were talking not crap, but we said how most people from New York are assholes, and Bob included himself in that. I said, "No, Bob, you're one of the most generous people I know." And then Shadow's like, "Wait a second, I'm from New York. Am I one of those guys too?" Oh goodness.
Just many assholes in Texas as there are in New York. I can promise you that.
Mike Brock's in the house. Mike Brock's the old man that told me that I should be drying this Crown Blackberry. We picked it up, Mike Brock. We got a bottle now. We'll get on Discord this evening, man. I'll get the Blackberry out. Maybe we'll have to get some lemonade. I might have to order it to have it delivered. We'll have some lemonade because I have no condition to drive when I'm done with all of this. So the Crown comes with bags on the bottles. I know you've seen those.
Yep.
This is a black bag with a red text, which is the first time it's ever had that combination, the black and red. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Why don't you tell them about the bottle you left at your aunt's house?
So my aunt, she's out there in Florida, and she thought that I didn't. Well, she knew that I. Okay, catch you guys later. Shadow.
Thanks, Shadow.
She had a recipe that came up where she needed some bourbon or some whiskey to use to make this pie. I want to say it was a pie, right?
Yeah. And now understand, she is a children's minister. Her husband is a school teacher. They don't believe in alcohol. Of course, my side of the family does. Her side of the family doesn't, even though we're brother and sister. But go ahead, keep on.
So when I was in town, this was when I was new to whiskey, guys. So I wasn't drinking bourbon at the time. I went with my dad. We went to one of these beachfront stores, and I bought a bottle of Crown Apple because that was my drink of choice to drink over ice. Now, the Crown Apple prices on the beach is ridiculous, so it just made sense to buy the big handle for the price because cost versus dollar ratio. So we got a 1.75 liter big boy of Crown Apple, and I drank probably a third of it while we were there on vacation for that week. But I left the bottle at their house, and she put it up high like in a cupboard away.
And put it behind everything in that cabinet.
Yeah, it was really far behind. And she was asking her neighbors for she had a measuring cup. She's like, I need a fourth of a cup or a half a cup. I can't remember what the measurement was of whiskey for this recipe. And we were like, you have whiskey. She's like, no, I don't. I don't own any alcohol. I'm like, no, I left a bottle there. Like, it's a 1.75 liter handle of Crown Apple. She's like, I thought that was apple juice. And I was like, if that was apple juice, why the hell is it not refrigerated? She had been sitting in the back of her cupboard. So then she had to pull it down, and she's like, oh, I'm so glad that no one knew that I had this in my house, because she thought, I've had kids over, I've had other people come over, and I've got this big handle of alcohol in the house.
So it's crazy. So I'll tell you two quick stories. I think you guys will like both these stories. So it's crazy that his aunt is anti-alcohol, but of course she has no choice because her brother does. So that allows Roger to bring it in. But his namesake, who he was actually named after, calls any kind of alcohol the devil's nectar.
So that's actually in my YouTube channel, guys. If you go to my channel and you read that description, I actually mentioned the devil's nectar in the description because of Big Raj.
So Big Raj always talks about, ooh, you're drinking the devil's nectar. And so when we first used to hang out with it was my best friend. That's where Roger's name came from. We'd go over and we'd hang out at his house and stuff. And we first really respected all his rules because his rules were no alcohol at his house. Well, but then I got to know his brother,
Who drinks?
who drinks and actually owns a great restaurant, and it's a bar restaurant. And if you're ever in Grapevine,
So we got AJ's on Main. This is the Glen Cairn from AJ's on Main. That's going to be in Grapevine, Texas, off of Main Street. It's right past the railroad tracks. So if you go to like Great Fest or any of the big events, they're going to have that section blocked off. You're going to cross the railroad tracks. There's going to be a business on the right. Cross one more street over. On the corner right there is AJ's on Main. It is a barbecue restaurant. He's got some crazy smokers outside. One of them's it's literally the size and the shape and design of a train. And they do some crazy good food. Seasoned French fries are one of my favorite things from them because they also do homemade barbecue sauce. The seasoned French fries with the barbecue sauce is great, and you cannot go wrong with any of the smoked meats that they do. They are fantastic. Very down-to-earth guy. I hope you guys are able to check that out if you're coming into town. I know a couple of you guys are going to be coming in. We're going to try to meet up. I know Jeff from Drizzo. He has his own restaurant that he's going to be a general manager for. If you're on that side of town, we'll go there. If you're on the Grapevine, DFW area side of town, we're going to go to my uncle's restaurant, AJ's on Main. So I'll have you guys check that out for sure.
and the greatest part, if you have more than an hour layover, believe it or not, in DFW, if you'll get into, I think it's Terminal A, is the rail. The rail will take you straight over to AJ's on Main. You come right back, and it's a 7-minute ride both over and back. So, I mean, if you have more than an hour that you're stuck in the airport, you can go over there, have a couple good drinks, have some good meat, barbecue, come on back, get on your plane, and head out wherever you're going. So, just some options for you.
I'm looking for this text because I was given a text. I'm trying to figure out what was said. I'm not finding the text, guys, but Barrel Dave's talking about a barrel pick. So, Jeff from Drizzo Nation, he's going to be the one that's the GM of this new restaurant. He was chosen by his superiors to go down to, I want to say he said Houston, Texas, to do a barrel pick from Yellow Rose. I've never heard of this distillery before, but he wants to bring me along with him. So we got to ask my dad and my mom if they're going to be able to watch my son, because it looks like it's going to be on a Monday/Tuesday. It's going to be fully funded. Everything's going to be paid for. We're going to have a place to stay that night, too. We're going to go down and try 6 different barrels. He wants to invite me, so he's just trying to work out all the details and the date and the time so we can make sure everything lines up.
What are the dates?
We don't know yet. He's still trying to get the full details. But that might be my first time to do a barrel pick, because Jeff said, I suck at this. You have a good palate. I need you to come down here so I don't look like a fool, and you need to be with me when we try these barrels so you can pick the best one. So we can have a barrel pick with our brand, our name on it. So that would be really freaking cool, because I've never done a barrel pick, and I didn't think I'd ever have the opportunity to do a barrel pick, because I'm like one of the smallest YouTubers, guys. I don't even have 400 subscribers yet. Like, we're still trying to get monetized. We're still trying to get watch hours. Like, a barrel pick would be crazy.
You know, the one thing I asked my son was, I was like, what's your ultimate goal in this thing? His goal never is to be monetized or make a bunch of money. His job is to give out and give more than what he's getting back. And that's why I'm sitting here right now, is because I believe in him that he wants to give out more than what he's receiving. And so many people on YouTube, you name it, they're all about them.
They want to take more than they give. They want to bring in all the funds. They don't want to give out anything in return. I've done so many giveaways. In fact, when I did the Old Forester giveaway, I kind of got roasted. I don't know if you guys were there for that one. We did the Old Forester 1924. We did $5 entries per giveaway, so you could give as many bucks that you guys wanted to give. Every $5 get you an entry into that giveaway. They said, how much money are you going to take in before you give away this bottle? You're at $500 on a $100 bottle. I was giving away a bottle of Old Forester 1924 and 2 sample packs. The sample packs were 4 samples each, with Old Forester 1924 samples included in those. And I said, you know what? F it. We're going to give away 2 more bottles of Eagle Rare with an Old Forester 1924 sample promised. Now, what you guys don't see behind the camera. So I'm giving away Eagle Rare and an Old Forester 1924 sample. One of the guys reached out to me and said, hey, can I also get these samples? I didn't hesitate to give them more samples than what was promised. If you guys want a giveaway, I'm more than willing to give more than what you received in the giveaway. So don't think I'm sitting here trying to take in money and make a profit off this. The money I brought in was about $500 that night. I'll be very honest with that. $115 before taxes was the Old Forester 1924. The second bottle, the one I sampled out, was $130 before taxes, which we don't have anymore. We polished it off. I can't even hold up an Old Forester 1924 anymore because I don't even have one. And then the samples I gave away, the amount of samples I gave away was also crazy because we just added to that, and those e-orders also cost more money. But I have no problem giving away that. The money I took in on top of that helped pay for shipping. Shipping for that single night was $70 for shipping for all those packages. That was shipping. That's not counting the boxes and the tape and the material to do all that. That's not counting the shipping labels and the cost of that. That's just the price to ship it from here to there. On top of all of that, to make it even more crazy, we give away even more samples than we were promised. And I know my dad wanted one of those samples, which he's now donated to Mr. Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, you're the man.
So, Mr. Lopez, you're going to get 6 minis. They're from Total Wine that I've had a small pour from. They're all been opened. But you're going to get all 6 of those, plus 4 samples. One of those samples of the 4, which was promised to you next shipment, next box to you, sir, was the Natterjack cask strength, because you said you can't get that in your area, which is Irish whiskey. So I'm super excited to send these out. But the thing is, when people bash me on how much I take in versus how much I give back, understand I spent $500 last year on shipping alone. I also upgraded StreamYards, the broadcasting stream that we're recording from right now for our live stream, $180 for their premium version. That's a yearly membership to where I can now, instead of do a 20-hour live stream per month, we can do unlimited hours per month. So our live streams have been anywhere between an hour to as many as 6 hours in one live stream, which I couldn't believe I went on for 5 hours and 45 minutes for one live.
I can't stay up that long.
But I got a crap ton of watch time and view time, which is great because most people I see that are YouTubers that are getting into this, they hit the subscribers, but they don't hit the watch time. For whatever reason, you guys think I'm entertaining and you guys like to watch this stuff. So I love doing live streams because you're seeing the live reaction of us tasting this Black Tuesday, which I really want to hold up this bottle and see if they can see how much is left in this.
Go ahead, because I've almost done it all.
My dad has tore this up. I don't know if you guys can see the fill line. It's like right here. So this is a full bottle. We fresh cracked this, and he's destroyed this bottle.
Just so you know.
I've had a small sample out of this, and he's absolutely destroyed it.
Probably need some more ice, but I'm good to go.
I'll get more ice for you. We can make that happen.
Mr. Lopez, thank you so much.
Tobacco is still as gross as I remember it. So Barrel Dave is a cigar guy. He does know a lot about cigars. He's actually someone I reached out because I thought we were going to do a cigar live stream at one point with a couple other YouTubers, and I was willing to go out and buy a cigar just to smoke. And I don't smoke cigars, so this would have been hilarious to watch. But I said I would do maybe 1 or 2 cigars an entire year, no more than that. So twice a year is the best you guys would get out of me for those because tobacco is icky, 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 icky. The smoke, how you feel, your lungs, all that crap. Plus, we're talking about drinking on top of that. It's just, I don't know how people social smoke and social drink because it's just a bad combination.
No, you say that, so let me throw you off on that one. So a lot of people do. I mean, the people that do cigar smoke, some of the cigars are amazing. It's just like bourbon. There's different flavors.
There's a few on my list to get actually.
There's different objectives. That's just not what I'm willing to do. But I know there's people out there, sort of like you. I don't crack on you for drinking bourbon, and I drink beer. There's people that drink whiskey that don't like bourbon. But in the same breath, you like cigars. You like cigars.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that really love cigars. They love the taste of cigars. And I've seen enough people out there to know that I am not calling anybody off that, but for me, that's not what I'm going to do. But in the other breath, if I come up with something else, more beer, I'll be good.
Chris Jenkins in the house. Cheers, everybody. Carl is messaging me on Discord right now. Here's the question. So this is hilarious. This is what he asked me, guys, so you guys can see how funny this is. You ever try the Goose Island Eagle Rare beer?
Did we just do that?
I'm on live trying with my dad right now. LMFAO. He said they had cases of it at my store for $40 each. So they do have the 2023 release. I don't think you'll find the Weller 12 one, but the Eagle Rare, the one that was our least favorite of the bunch,
Yeah.
they have cases of it. And I'm
Explain
like,
to
we're
why.
trying it right now.
Explain to him why it's probably there's cases left.
Little too oaky, finishes long, not too smooth, but solid bottle for what it is.
But if I had to buy it and I could get it at a decent price, I'd be in.
$40 a bottle?
No. No.
What's crazy is that's actually what these go for. It's $40 a bottle, and this was sent to us for free, by the way.
I definitely appreciate that.
So the Don, Mr. Dave Vogelsang himself, he said, I got a package headed your way, and it's non-bourbon related. I didn't think non-alcohol related. Well, I did at first. I was like, oh, maybe you send me some glasses or something. No, non-bourbon related. It's beer, and it's like technically it is bourbon related because they're aged in bourbon barrels.
Hey, I am not sure. I've watched Dave Vogelsang on here all the time. I'm not sure who you are, but you are my favorite person. And anytime I do anything for you, please reach out. I'm your guy.
He's got to be one of the most generous people I've ever met in the entire community. He was in Discord for a while, guys. He's no longer on Discord. Some drama came up. He addressed me personally about the drama via email. I handled it. So the person who was giving him the crap is gone. They are blacklisted and banned from my server. They're banned from another server that I have access to. So understand that if you guys want to mess with somebody, Dave Vogelsang, the most generous person in our entire YouTube community, is not someone to mess with, because I will not be a part of a server that lets this other person in it just because of the interaction Dave had with somebody. Dave's an old-ass grown man who doesn't put up with no shit. He's not in high school anymore, guys. He's a grown man. He's older. He's not retired yet, but he still makes some crazy money with his job. I don't know how he's able to buy the bottles he buys. He buys some crazy bourbon bottles. You want to talk about someone who gets some bottles. And I'm like, why is this guy going to put up with drama? So when he told me and he sent me the email, I'm not going to read it out loud, guys. That's private. That was this conversation. But the person who was at fault here, I could not even respond to this person because I was so angry. I'm like, I would rather just cut ties and ban this person altogether from my entire server, my entire life. I will never talk to this person again, even though I was friendly with them at first, because of the issue that I had from Dave Vogelsang. Like, that guy's the most genuine, honest person ever. And if he has a problem with somebody, his problem is now my problem. And I treat that personally against that person. So that was like a vendetta against them. So whoever decided to start the drama, I was pissed. But I couldn't speak because if I spoke on it, I felt like I'm no better than them.
So here's where, as a proud papa, even though he could have been a sock puppet,
blow him away in a load of sock. So the socks can be dried and crispy.
So understand, as a proud papa, you protect your cubs and you protect the people that protect you. And everybody, unfortunately, in our world today, when you start to get a little bit bigger than the other person, they want to knock you down. It's not about building other people up. It's about knocking other people down. And our society should be more about building people up than knocking them down. And if all you're doing is knocking people down, don't bother to be on anything. Those people are like poison. And I heard a long time ago, I want you to die, and I'm going to drink the poison, and let's see what happens. That's stupid. You want people to succeed. And my whole goal in my life is to make sure he does better than I did. I don't want to be better than he is. I want him to be better than me. And I want him to make sure that somebody else, whether it's his family or whatever, somebody else is going to be better than him based on what he brings into their lives. And if we're not bringing that to other people, we have screwed this entire world up.
So we got Ganny Road in the house, and we also got Carl in the house. He's the one who was messaging me about how he tried the Eagle Rare one.
Yeah. So
everybody's saying cheers. Dave Vogelsang is the man. Such a great, generous guy. Yes, he is. There's no other way to say that. Guys, it's not. It doesn't take someone else to push someone down or help someone else drown. They'll drown on their own if they're not successful, or they're in the funk, or they're on their own with being bad blood. But the person who's asking for help and reaching out, who's drowning, you could reach down and pull them up and help them become successful, help them feel better about themselves, and help them become a winner. That's who I care about. I don't care if someone's going to be sinking or swimming or drowning or dying. You have to make a decision for yourself. If they're going to drown and die, are you going to step aside and let them do that on their own? That way you're not a part of it. I would rather you do that than be the person who steps on their head and pushes them further under. No, there's no reason for you to push someone further down. If they're already drowning, they're already on that sinking ship, and you don't want to be a part of it, you can let them go. There's no problem with that. But as a community, if someone's reaching out for help, there's no reason why you can't be the person who reaches down and grabs them and pulls them up. That's all I have to say about it. Like, people will fail on their own, and you can help them succeed if you really want to. But if you don't want to help them succeed, let them fail on their own. Don't create the negative aspect they're already in. Let them sink on their own. I had that issue happen at work where a guy was on the borderline of being fired. He did get fired, but my point was there was 5 or 6 guys that really wanted to see him get fired, and they were really trying to find reasons to complain. And I'm like, this guy's gonna fail on his own. I'm gonna be the guy that tries to help him because this guy's honest and genuine. He wants to be better, and he's trying to be better. So I'm gonna help him. But I said, shame on all of you who want to see him fail and want to push him further under, because it's like, if you're gonna fail, you're gonna fail. Like, that's just the nature of the game. We all fail. But there's no reason to push someone further under if they're already failing. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Walk away. Let him do it on his own. Like that guy was drowning himself. He's successful now. By the way, he walked away from the job. He was terminated, but he is successful now, and he's probably the happiest he's ever been. I'm glad that he saw success somewhere else other than where he was at with work for me.
I was doing Proud Papa because if you are not the cause of somebody else's problem, and you actually lift somebody up, and they succeed.
I'm gonna get some more ice,
please. If you allow somebody to succeed, you've increased their worth. But you know what? If you move somebody up and they don't succeed, that's not your failure. Your job is to help other people to move up to the next level. And if they succeed, great. If they don't, great. But the bottom line is every day that you help somebody, whether it's up or whether it's equal, it's up to them to move further on. So, throwing it out. Roger left me. Gave me some more ice. He bailed. Oh, yeah, you got to go. I haven't got to go.
You go?
No, I'm good. That's what I'm saying. You left me sitting here all by myself. All by myself.
All right, guys. If you're home from work and you guys want to come on, you want to talk to us, you can talk to us face to face. I just posted the StreamYard link. We're going to pin that message at the top. So you guys can click that link, join StreamYards. I'll bring you guys on so you can have a conversation. I got my dad here with me. I know we were talking earlier. Let me see if I can follow up with wherever that was said. Someone had said something, and it really hit home for me. Where was it? I must have missed it. Carl said, what's a special occasion to share a drink with your father? I miss mine dearly. I have several people that I have in this community that have talked to me, and they said that the value of your own father wanting to be a part of your life, being on your videos, your streams, is so crucial, because a lot of these guys, they don't have their father in their life anymore. They've passed. And the tears that I've had and I've shed with the thought of losing my father will never be as crazy or as elevated as if I actually did lose my father. So for you guys that don't have your father in your life, understand that me doing these live streams and these videos with my dad, that I'm glad that he wants to be on these aren't necessarily for me to show off that I have my father in my life. These are going to be memories that when he does pass, I have video evidence that me and my dad had a good time. We shared a drink together. And it's going to be a video record that I can show my kids. This is Grandpa. He had a good time. He was alive. He was well. He was thriving. He wasn't just living. He was thriving. And that's just crazy to think about because I understand that it sucks when you lose someone so close to you. My grandfather on my mom's side, he was like a second father to me. I can't get that back. All I have is photos, Facebook messages, voicemails. That's it. Ugh. It's tough.
Yes.
These live streams have been getting really emotional lately too, because people do have feelings, and it's crazy because it's like when you talk about a community, you try to treat them like family because you never know what they're going through, and you never know what you're going through when you need to reach out for help. A couple of us, we hung out in Discord the other night, also on StreamYards. We shared our phone numbers with each other because we're like, hey, if you guys ever get into a dark space, like, here's someone that's willing to listen. Here's someone that's willing to talk to you. Like, if you don't want to call the suicide help hotline, call one of us. Have the conversation.
Well, think of what your grandpa was able to do for you. What we were able to bring grandpa and your grandma close to you the entire life. I mean, most people don't have their grandmother and grandfather that close to them. I mean, this generation now, so your grandson's like right next to me, and we get to spend a lot of time with him. But my daughter who lives in Florida, I don't get the same.
You don't get to see Rylan and Kayla. You don't get to see them as much.
No.
Yeah.
So there's a different connection between us and them.
Very different dynamic.
And me and you knew. But there's so much that can come to fruition because we're close together. I mean, and the closer you get, the better if you are. If you don't have that opportunity, then you got to find somebody that's going to help you get to that opportunity where you have that relationship. We all need a relationship together.
So Barrel Dave said today is his father's birthday, and his father's still here, and his father's 73 years old.
Happy birthday!
So
happy birthday!
Happy birthday to Mr. Barrel Dave.
Barrel Dave's dad. Yes.
It's crazy because you never know which one's going to be your last, guys. Like you don't know if you're going to be able to celebrate your next birthday, even if you're in your 20s, let alone your 70s, and to really be appreciated by the people that are in your life.
So my mother and father are both 77, and they're still here. His mom's side, 78 and 79, they both passed. It's within a short period of time.
It could be 2 to 3 years. It could be the next year. It could be tomorrow. It could be a car crash, cancer, heart attack. Anything could kill anybody. And you really don't realize how precious life is until it's gone. And at that point, it's too late to actually celebrate and enjoy the life that you had with somebody. So when we talk about living in the moment and enjoying the time that we have with each other, that's tough.
And the greatest thing, and the thing I regret the most is my great-great-grandfather. This is where I draw the line and cross the board. My great-great-grandfather was in World War One. Most of y'all are like, that was World War One. It's like that was
the 40s.
That was it was before the 40s.
No, the 20s. Sorry, the 20s. World War II was the 40s. That's how
War,
old it is.
World War One.
In the 20s.
But if I could have gone back to do if I could have done it all over again, I'd have videotaped his conversation with me of what he went through and what he did and stuff like that. But my great-great-grandfather, which is his great-great-great-great-grandfather, I mean, that's something I passed on. But stupid me, I was like, I'll remember it. I'll be able to pass it on. All's good. That's not how things work. I mean, our minds play tricks on us. So things that he told us, it keeps getting watered down. So we want to be able to pass on the right things to our next generation. Because if we don't pass on the right things, the problem is we're due to repeat things that we don't want to repeat. And we got to make sure that we figure out what we did and make sure we go where we need to go.
Be better than the last generation is what I was told by my dad, and I will try to do the same for my generation and the next. Speaking of that, the Bourbon Jedi's in the house saying, "Sup, RJ and Dad."
Hey, what's happening? Just so you know, the bourbon's kicked in. I just want to let you know.
I've actually switched back from the I actually took the line that I had, I blended them all together, and I added some water to dilute it because it was like 120 something proof down to 100 proof, and I'm back on drinking beer with you.
Well, he says he's drinking beer with me.
I've got the.
But I've almost finished this bottle.
We're back on this one now, the Weller 12 one, because I really like that one.
He says he's willing to come back on there. So what's left? What's left? Go ahead and put it in.
So that's how much is left.
Put it in.
And this is a glass full of ice. So when you talk about how much is actually left in this glass, it's nowhere close to the amount because the ice is taking up so much space.
Go ahead and finish it up because this is what's left. All right. Yep. So I've almost finished this bottle off of my own.
I'm going to try the rest of this for myself just so I can remember what it tasted like. I put this in glass C, so we'll put this back in glass C.
Wait a minute. What's going to come out? I want him to show us left of glass C. Just FYI. We need to see what's left.
So I had to pour a little bit less than this, and then this is the rest of C, and then the rest of that was my dad, and this was a 1 pint, 9.4 fluid ounce bottle at 19.5% alcohol by volume. So you want to talk about a beast. He's still here. He's still coherent. He's still drinking. This bottle is dead.
You probably don't want to listen to a word I say after this. Just FYI.
Leave this world better than the way you found it. You know, that's always something I've been told too, is to try to do better than the last generation. So I do agree with that.
So, Mr. Lopez asked thoughts on the beer. Man, this beer...
It sucked! It sucked! It was terrible!
No.
It was awful!
After the whole bottle, I don't care who you are. It's good beer. It's good a beer. I don't care who you say.
Oh, man. I didn't realize you were going to tear up that Black Tuesday that much. Hey, I'm glad somebody can enjoy a $60 beer, because that's only one way to drown some money. I still can't believe I went and picked it up. I'm calling Adult Protective Services on you.
I thank you, the Bourbon Jedi. Protect the father.
Protect the father. I have spoken. This is the way. It's good. I mean, I poured up some for myself. It's good, but it's...
Wait a minute. You poured up some for yourself? Come on. Come on.
It's got a great note to it, guys. The Black Tuesday, for me, has a great note. My dad didn't necessarily agree with it, but he didn't necessarily disagree with it. He just thought the Black Tuesday was the most complex and had a lot more flavor profile going on that we couldn't necessarily pinpoint. And it was really enjoyable. In fact, I don't think it was as good as the Weller 12 one from Goose Island, but this is still a solid pour.
You know, he says all the crap he says. It is amazing. He says a lot of good shit. But the bottom line is, after about 5 or 6 drinks...
It doesn't matter.
Just doesn't matter. Just FYI.
There's so much left of these two.
You're going to keep those two, because I'm going home without these.
You're going to have to, because otherwise you won't be able to go home at all. You'll be staying the night, and Mom's going to have to pick you up in the morning.
Yep, Mom's going to pick me up in the morning.
Oh, this Black Tuesday is good, though. I do like this. Let's see if I can recap these. Try to get the cat in the frame.
That ain't going to work. Yeah.
I know. We're going to have to figure something out for those. I'll be drinking them later, guys, so we'll probably cut this live stream soon, and we'll do another live stream where I finish off the rest of these Goose Islands, because I still have to work tomorrow, and they're going on vacation tomorrow. It'll be fun, though.
I'm not going on vacation. The company sent me on a trip.
Basically.
Okay. That hurts. That hurts. But I'll do it anyway. Hey, thank you for supporting Roger. I mean, it takes a lot of people to look at other people and say, hey, look, I don't care what they're doing. I enjoy what they're doing. I'm interested. I'm in. But the thing is you got to repeat that to other people too. It's just not about you. It's about other people too. So make sure you take care of the people around you. It's a community. It's a family. Enjoy your family. Whether they're good, bad, or ugly, you got to enjoy family. But family is family.
Should we break the news to the Bourbon Jedi? He's asking what your cocktail of choice is. Should we tell him that you don't drink hard liquor?
I do not drink hard liquor at all. Bourbon Jedi. I am a beer guy 100%, and I do not do cocktails at all. When I do cocktails, I am very short-lived. So
I'm still trying to get you a bottle, and this is crazy because I know you're not going to drink it, but I want it for your shelf. I'll drink the whiskey. You can have the bottle. They have you guys know how expensive this is, but they have a double Eagle Rare bottle, which is in a fancy crystal decanter with a Eagle topper as the topper of the decanter, and it comes in a fancy box. And I thought it would be the coolest thing because you have an Eagle collection to have on your shelf. Do you want to know how much that bottle costs, though?
Don't
MSRP?
Don't care, you're my kid.
MSRP, guys, if you're not familiar with Double Eagle Rare, MSRP, that's the manufacturer suggested retail price, is $2,000.
Hey, is not his daddy worth $2,000?
Now, if I was going to buy it on the secondary market, the resale market, do you want to know how much that is?
Don't care. I'm your father.
$10,000 for a freaking bottle of whiskey. Like, those guys are out of their effing mind if they think they're getting 10 grand from me. If we buy the MSRP, we're going to drink the whiskey. We might even sample some of the whiskey out to you guys. We won't necessarily do that one for free. That will be a paid giveaway because we're going to be very deep in the pockets to spend $2,000 on the credit card for an Eagle Rare, a double Eagle Rare. But some of those samples will be free. We'll sample half of it away for paid, half of it for free, and then the empty bottle will be for my dad on his shelf, so we can put whatever we want in it, even if it's sweet tea.
So the funny thing is, he knows I will never drink whatever's in the bottle, so he can recap it. Nobody have a clue. But here's the thing: it's all about, do you understand what you're giving your daddy?
I do, and for me, it's knowing that you have an Eagle Rare collection. Or an Eagle collection, and having this Eagle Rare decanter bottle would be like the coolest thing. It's a crystal topper in a fancy box and bottle. It's worth more than its weight in gold.
You know what?
Mark Duffy, what's up, man?
The amazing thing about that is even if I died, guess who would get everything I got to sit on my shelf? And my son.
Mark Duffy said his dad had an Eagle collection as well when he was growing up and said he broke one, and that was the biggest ass whooping he had ever got.
Understand? I could have whooped his ass for the same thing. But this ship will sail too, and I will get another Eagle. But the whole thing is to have a son in your life. I mean, I think you understand that too. Yeah, you got the ass whooping.
Yeah, biggest ass whooping. Clarified, biggest ass whooping. Look what he said. My dad had an Eagle collection when I was growing up.
I see that. Yeah.
I broke one, and that was one of the biggest ass whoopings I ever got.
That's hilarious. I apologize. I'd have whipped his ass too, but it didn't have to even mess up one of my Eagles. I'd have whipped his ass anyway.
He would have just done it for free. No charge.
No charge. I'd have whipped
free
his ass
ass
for no
whoopings.
matter what. Yeah. So I give those like freedom. It's like, if you want ass whooping, I'll give you ass whooping.
We have a beer flight board with holes in it that's just aerodynamic, or we got what we call the strong hands. We're gonna.
Hey, look! I'll bust that ass in a heartbeat, just so you know.
I admittedly deserved it. He said he deserved it for breaking the Eagle. That's crazy. He even admitted it. He knew he deserved it.
Yeah. Telling you for a friend.
That's terrible. That's terrible. When you know you deserve the beating.
No, there's no such thing as deserving a beating. But what there is deserving is, your dad loved you.
Especially if he's willing to beat you with a battle or his hand.
Now understand, you screw up a shit, you get a bigger beating. Just so you know. But no. I mean, the one thing I love about my kid is I'm able to sit over here and he's an adult and he wants me in his life, and that's amazing. If you get to that point, you feel like you've reached a position of power. And why do you feel that's a position of power? Why? Because most people don't want anything to do with their parents, because their parents put them in a position where they didn't want to be. I want to make sure my kid's better than where I am, if not further than where I am, and get to a place that I will never become, and that's greatness. And that's what I want my kid to become, the greatness. Thank you.
So this live stream is going to be ending, guys. I wanted to thank you guys for coming out and checking it out. I hope you guys watch the replay with my dad. I do have a bottle of the Goose Island Eagle Rare and a Goose Island 12-year. I will be finishing those up later this evening. I will be going live again, so you guys can see me finish those off. We're going to call it here. We're going to take a break so we can get some food in us, get some water, hydrate, make sure he gets home safely. And then after all of that, I'll go live again, and we're going to try those again, because I know the Eagle Rare wasn't as smooth as the Weller 12. So hopefully the later live stream, you guys will be able to tune in. I know it's still pretty early. It's 5:30 in the afternoon. That most people are just getting off of work or just getting home from work, and joining in on a live stream might be tough for you guys. But we're going to go live again probably around 7 o'clock, 7:30 is the goal. We'll be drinking these Goose Islands because we can't recap these or recork these, so we do need to finish them. That being said, we don't need help recapping or recorking the Black Tuesday because my dad finished that one off. So good on him, because I only had 2 pours from that, and he downed the rest of that bottle. That was a 1-pint bottle at 19.5% alcohol by volume. So you can best believe he's feeling it. We're going to make sure we get him sober enough to drive home, guys. I love you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for coming out and seeing my dad on stream with me. We drank some stout beers. I have more stout beers to come. Saturday night, or Saturday evening, I should say, I'm going to try to do a live at an allocation event at Juno's Liquor and Wine. That's on Cooper Street. They have an event. That's an allocated raffle at 1 p.m. We're going to try to do our first live from the phone so you guys can see that and how that works. But then when we come back from the house, because my wife's going to be out, she's going to have the kids, so we're going to have the freedom of the house on Saturday. We're supposed to have a girl, Michelle, and Crystal come over. A couple other people are going to try to come over. My buddy Tyler, maybe Brandon will come over. We're going to have some tequila, some whiskey, and some beers. So I have 3 more stout beers, the Bottle Logics, a regular Goose Island, so 4 beers. We got 4 stout beers. We got tequila. We got vodka. We got gin. We got all kinds of stuff to try. Next live will be on Saturday for the big one with a special guest. The next live in general will be tonight with me with these 2 bottles right here of the Eagle Rare and the Weller 12 aged Goose Islands, guys. So like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for coming out and seeing my dad on stream. One of the coolest things is to have my dad over here and willing to come on camera to do a video with me, because even if he doesn't remember this stuff, whenever he does pass, and I hope that is a very long time from now, these are memories that I have saved that I can rewatch with not only my son, but hopefully my grandson whenever that happens, and show off, hey, this is how cool your grandpa was. This is how cool your dad was. And he's here drinking beer on stream with his son, who's made a complete fool of himself. So I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for supporting the community. We got the Discord link in the description. We got the Venmo PayPal link in the description. I know no one came on the StreamYard. Hopefully you guys come on the StreamYard later tonight when you guys are finally home and settled from work. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.